Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. This is Andy Anatomical, and welcome to another episode of the Profile Pod TV, the podcast that features you, where we talk about you. Okay, so we have our special guest in tonight. He is not here yet. We're just going to wait to patch him in, and he is she's going to be here shortly. So how's everybody doing out there? I know we got the NFL draft coming up here, and so I'm basically competing against that. I had a lot of friends tell me, "Hey, man, we got the draft at a little bit after, an hour after your podcast comes on." So it is what it is. So if anything, anybody, you can come back, watch the replay, and you won't have to miss the draft. But hey, we'll get an hour of pre-draft here. So I hope you guys are all doing well out there. As for me, I'm just trying to maintain with this this quarantine as it moves into a little over a month now. But I'm trying to stay positive, trying to stay optimistic. We're gonna get through this, and so to the Profile Pod. The Profile Pod, what is the Profile Pod? The Profile Pod is basically the podcast that features you, okay? We bring on podcasters, we bring on entrepreneurs, we bring on individuals from unique backgrounds, and we feature you, if you're looking to get some extra promotion, some marketing, this is the place for you, okay? Let me know if you like to come on to the Profile Pod so that we can, like I said, get more eyeballs on your product, whatever you're doing, whatever on your podcast. And I'm just the man of the people. I'm just trying to help you out, help each other out. Let's help each other out. There's nothing wrong with that. So today we have, we're featuring a podcast today, Dallasbeertalk, obviously, out of the Big D in Texas, and we're just waiting for our guests to come on here, and we'll introduce them. But in the meantime, I just wanted to, take care of some housekeeping items. Like, I want to thank everybody on Instagram, Twitter, for your support. You guys have been great. We're getting a lot of positive feedback on the Profile Pod. We're already booked up into early, I want to say mid-May. And going from there. So if you want to be on the Profile Pod, let's get you on here. You come on, we'll co-host, and like I said, we'll get you some more exposure. We'll get you some more viewership, listenership, whatever the case may be. We're going to do that for you. So and let's just have fun while we're doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. So as you can see, I got my Lakers, I got my Dodgers behind me. My Kobe up top, Minneapolis Lakers, and my NAU hat, soon to be proud father of a football player, Renee. Shout out to Renee, my son, who got a scholarship at NAU. So football scholarship. We'll be there as soon as possible. We'll schedule to be there in late June. So, I think let's see. We have anybody in the audience here, in the comments. Mr. Nicastro, shout out to my buddy Jason Nicastro. If you have any questions, we'll have a segment where we'll go to the comments and we'll bring up a question, and we'll put you on the show. Okay, so our guest should be here shortly. And like I said, in the meantime, we're just going to continue to talk about the Profile Pod. We have the 90s Galore, which is the podcast that I started, and that's on Instagram as well. And that's been great. And I decided to kind of do something else where, we still have the 90s Galore, but in addition to that, now we have the Profile Pod TV, and that's also on Instagram. The page on Instagram is still in the works. It's already up. But I'm just waiting on the cover art, so we'll be able to get that up, going like I wanted to. Basically, it's just right now it's kind of a skeleton page, if you will, and we're just trying to, get it up and running. So in the meantime, we're just gonna, do what we need to do and promote it. I'm still running everything. The profile pod is still being promoted through 90s Galore on Instagram, but slowly but surely we'll get everything on, separate and respectively, everything done within its own page and its own everything will be separate. So 90s Galore will be 90s Galore, and then the profile pod will be the profile pod. So we'll have our guest should be coming on soon. We're gonna check in here and see if he can where he's at, and he's just running a few minutes behind, but it's okay. Things happen, and we just roll with the punches. We just roll with it, baby. So Jason, how you doing out there today? I know you're ready for the draft, and let me just so profile pod, man. I'm really excited about the profile pod. So today we're going to be talking beer too on the profile pod. Our guest comes from Dallas, like I said, and he's a big supporter of the. He's a big supporter of the of the local beer scene in Dallas. We are having some technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. If we can hang tight here. Let's see here. Here, we're going to try to get our guest on, and we can just hang tight. All right. Well, we'll see if we can get him on. Want to thank everybody for hanging in there. As soon as we get our guest in, we'll go ahead and start the podcast. But right now, I know like a lot's going on. We got the NFL draft. We got a lot of people going live on Instagram. So it looks like we got our man.
Got to create an account.
Victor.
Every time I logged in, it was like, you got to create an account. I was like, I'm working on it.
Oh, no. Hey, no worries, Victor. How's it going, man?
It's going well, man. How you doing? I'm a little flustered at the moment.
No worries, man. No worries. Go ahead and settle in, man. Get yourself, there's no rush here. We're just kind of explaining to the audience that, a couple things going on with my podcast with the 90s Galore, and then how I started the this particular project with
I was listening. I was logging in. I was listening.
Oh, nice. The Profile Pod, yeah. It's Profile Pod TV, where we bring on podcasters, bring on entrepreneurs, bring on people with unique backgrounds, such as yourself, and we just feature whatever they're doing, man. And I want to go ahead and introduce you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Victor Santana from the Dallasbeertalk Podcast, and he's got a lot going on right now, and I with his a lot of projects going on, and we'll get into all that, man. But let's check in with Victor, man. Thank you for being here, man. How you doing?
Oh, thank you. First of all, thanks for having me on. I enjoyed the 90s Galore podcast too, by the way. I've been binging it ever since Alan told me about it.
Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you, man. No, Al the Brewer. Shout out to Al the Brewer.
Yes,
And,
yes.
I see. What do you got there? What do you got? What kind of cold beverage you got there?
I'm drinking a exclusive beer. Reason I'm running a little late too. I was at my friend's brewery in False Idol in North Richland Hills. We were cleaning up the brewery, and they made their first Pilsner beer, and it's pretty good.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So we're going to talk a lot of beer, Victor. We're going to talk about Dallas Beer Talk, and so yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Overall, I'm doing good. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for the podcast. The main part mostly was just partying and hanging out with people, introducing the world to the fun community. But we're all shut in right now, so
yeah,
what I'm gonna do. What's my next step?
Okay, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I noticed you're a big supporter of the local scene out there in Dallas, man. The Dallas area, right?
Yeah,
and
yes, sir.
So yeah, we'll get into all that, and so this I have me a little beverage here too, man. It's not beer, but cheers.
Sure. Cheers.
Salud. Yes. Yeah, man, I'm really excited for you to be being here, and been looking forward to this because I know you got a good following, man, and you're doing a lot of good things out there in Dallas. And so you're in Dallas or Dallas Fort Worth or Dallas?
I live in Dallas. The show is called Dallasbeertalk, but it covers all just beer stuff in general, not just the Dallas market. So today I was in Fort Worth, helping that brewery out there. Gotcha,
man. Where are you from originally, Victor?
I'm from New York City.
Oh, you're from New York City?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Awesome. I thought I detected some East Coast, a little accent there.
I wish I still had an accent. People say I have it just for certain words, but I lost my real accent a long time ago. I've been out here. I've been in the South between Florida and here to about 13, 14 years now.
Oh, man. Okay. And what part of New York City are you from?
Queens,
man. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I've been there one time, man. Been to New York City one time, and I'm dying to go back. I was there in December of 2010.
Nice.
And loved it, man. Loved it. Didn't have to drive anywhere. I was just on the subway. I was going places, man. I was all over the place.
Funny story. I didn't learn how to drive until I moved to Texas, where I was 19 years old. I had to get a license.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good, man. Yeah, there's no need to you don't have to drive in New York City.
I felt like when you got your license, you were an adult. You had kids. Like you didn't need your license until then. Car.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
For people who's watching, sorry, my dogs keep running up to me. I just got home and I've been gone all day, so they're trying to get attention. So I keep leaning over and touching them.
No worries, man. Yeah, how many dogs you got there?
I got two. I got this one's Lucy. She's the young one. She just turned a year, and then the old lady Samantha's in the background hiding, getting sunbathing right now.
Hey, it's pretty warm out here, man, in LA today. How is it out there right now?
Oh man, it was cold this morning, but it's getting really warm. It's about 85 right now.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I think it touched I did about 80, 88, 89 today, and so yeah, man, it's tonight on the Profile Pod, man. We got Victor Santana from Dallas Beer Talk, and we're talking the local beer culture in Dallas and the Dallas area. I noticed you got the 17% drip, Victor.
Yeah.
What's that all about, man? I noticed that a lot. You talk about that. You wear a lot of the merchandise.
So I try not to wear my own merch a lot, even though I have a merch store. I try to support more than advertise for myself. And the funny thing about it, I meant to put my own clothes today, but I don't even have my hat or nothing on me. I have all my friend's stuff.
Oh, yeah, okay.
17% drip is just his concept of a lifestyle of craft beer, cool merch, cool shirts, cool glassware, having fun with it, bringing to LA because he has a big connections to LA.
Okay.
I forget the guy's name. I forget the guy's name. I wish I wrote that down, but big following of breweries, the beer zombie guys out of Vegas. And he spends a lot of time in LA. He wants to bring some of that swag back to Dallas,
I see. He's from LA originally?
No, he's from Texas. But he has another group called the Dallas Beer Squad where they do a lot of parties and beer stuff. And that's how I got into craft beer through them and meeting people through them.
Oh, okay.
He made a big connection in the West Coast, and then he just like saw the vibes and saw the energy, and he wanted to bring that, to the South.
Gotcha, man. So yeah, I mean, let's get into that, man. So you seem to be entrenched in that scene, the beer. How did you take us through that, man? How did you get involved, and how did you get in with that?
It's a weird story when I tell people beer is not. I don't really like beer. I enjoy it now.
Okay.
But it wasn't that. I actually had another podcast before called The Shit Show.
The Shit Show?
Yeah. So I spent most of my 20s traveling the world. I made really good friend connections around the world.
Uh-huh.
And some of my really closest friends, they moved to Dallas, but no one had time. Everybody worked. So I tried to trick them into staying and spending some time with me once a week by making a podcast at a studio. And we would just come by and drink.
Okay.
And that lasted a few months. We had fun. It was just being alcoholics and just catching up. But then they had lives, they have kids, couldn't get back together. But I had fun making a podcast. So I had two coworkers that I was like, yo, let's do a podcast together because they're fun. I like hanging out with them. And they like to drink, so we brought that along. And my old host, Drew, was big into beer. And that's
okay. Your old co-host, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was big into beer, and he made a suggestion one day that we should invite the local beer scene onto the show. So we're drinking beer, but neither one was a real expert. Like he wasn't a real expert on beer. I wasn't a real expert on rum and whiskey. So let's reach out to these people who knew more and talk to them.
Gotcha.
Grew from there.
And what was the time frame on that? How long ago was that?
3 years now.
3 years?
For the beer, Dallasbeertalk.
Gotcha. So you brought them onto the podcast, and then the rest is history, huh?
Yeah, rest is because pretty much, man. Like from Jumpstart, the first brewery that we got on for locally was called Pickles. Locally, they're really big. Nothing like Budweiser or anything like that. They're not massive by any means, but locally they're really well known. And I wasn't expecting them to come on. I emailed a bunch of new breweries, younger breweries, maybe open a few months. And I emailed some of the older breweries locally, just to say I did it. I wasn't expecting a response. They were the first to respond to my email, the first to come on the show. And when it came on the show, at the time we had no followings, we had nobody to follow us. But they came with coolers and cases of beers to come drink and have a party. And I fell in love with that. The next brewer came on, did the same thing. The next brewer after that did the same thing. And I was like, yo, I don't know who these guys are, but they like to drink, they like to party, let's do it. And I started getting involved.
Gotcha, man. Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Yeah. So every time you were having a guest on, you guys were partying pretty much.
Pretty much. And it was always the bigger breweries. I was kind of disappointed at the time, some of the younger breweries, but now I get it. When you started up a new business, you don't got time to really leave the business. You're working 20 hours at the spot, opening, closing, trying to figure out what markets you're trying to hit and trying to grow and trying to figure out how to stay stable. So at the time I was disappointed, but the bigger breweries came out and showed me much love. And then again, at the time we maybe had 10 followers. Like we were nobody, literally nobody on social media.
Wow. So yeah, man, you guys have grown pretty well here in the last 3 years. I know now you're up to like close to 2,500 followers on Instagram, right?
On
right
Instagram
around there.
is our biggest connection for the beer scene. There's a lot of people apparently on the beer scene love Instagram. So yeah, we get a lot of love there. We're on all platforms. We're on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud.
Awesome, man. Yeah, no, definitely, man. I was listening to your one of your episodes. It was an early episode. We had TJ from MVP Vodka, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I think that was
that's one of the older ones. Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 years ago, I think it said on there. Yeah. And so I was just curious. How are they? And I looked them up. TJ, or not TJ, but MVP. Yeah, and All-American football players from Texas, and they got. It looks like they're doing their thing, and they're
doing really well. Vodka's selling really well. I still have TJ's a nice guy. We're friendly, but I know more. The guy that was the other guest that day was called DJ Loud. I'm more closely connected to him, and he's closely connected to TJ. But they're both doing good. TJ's it's selling. I didn't realize how hard it is to break into the liquor scene.
Oh wow.
It's harder apparently because only option you have is bigger establishments to get your product. You don't have a local tap room and a local place to really bring on your products, and if you do, it doesn't really sell much. So
yeah,
for them, they're doing good. They're growing.
That's awesome. Yeah, listen to the episode. I think they were talking about how they had gone to Vegas and to kind of promote their product, and they were pretty happy with the outcome of that particular trip back. I mean, that was 2 years ago, I think now, that particular episode.
Yeah, and at the time they were about a year and a half open, and they're still doing good. They're still moving, But again, I was really, really surprised just talking to them over the years how hard it is to move up in that business.
I bet, man. Yeah, in the restaurant business, man, and I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? The liquor / alcohol and restaurant, and it's not an easy business. Yeah, I've worked in restaurants myself, serving and bussing, and that's work, man. But a lot of respect, to those who in that business, and to putting in the work.
1,000%.
Yeah, man. But it looks like you're having a lot of fun though, Victor.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. For me at this point, I tell people I've been lucky enough for people watch me do a podcast for 3 years, and I'm always out and about. And people always ask me how to do a podcast. I say, first and foremost, number one, do what you're interested in, because there's no money.
Yeah.
There's no money until you grow and try to learn about the business. So just have fun with it.
Absolutely, man. No, that's a key thing when you're starting out your podcast, right? And so you had the shit show, and then so with Dallas Beer Talk, are you a one-man show, or do you have? I know you have guests come on, but do you have a co-host?
I have a special co-host come from time to time. For me, it's I tend to I don't know if you ever noticed the episode with just me and not a special guest, special co-host. I tend to talk a lot, and I have a problem with that. I've gotten better over the years, but I tend to interject stories and be involved too much instead of listening. You're doing great. You're a great interviewer. I've listened to a few of your episodes too.
Thank you.
On the 90s Galore, and then a few episodes you have here for this podcast as well. You're a great listener, and I need to develop that skill better.
Hey, man, you know what, man? It's just I've been in sales. I've been in different professions, and I've learned that listening is a key thing you got to do, man. Sometimes, I like to talk to and interject and get involved with the conversation, right? But I make a conscious effort, especially in podcasting, as you know, you got to be able to listen, man. And so sometimes you just gotta, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? We have 2 ears for a reason.
Yeah, and I wish I used my 2 ears more.
I hear you, bro. I hear you, brother. No, but you do a great job on your podcast, man. It's entertaining. It's engaging. You're a lot of energy on your shows. And I think obviously it's beer based. It's you're in a social setting a lot, and it just goes well, man. It works well, and
well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
We made a lot of mistakes I made a lot of mistakes as far as equipment and scenarios, but it's all part of for me, it's all part of the fun, hanging out with brewers in their environment, and I kind of developed over the years too, because people who make stuff are not the most entertaining people.
Say it again.
People who make stuff like beer or liquor, who in the house and cooking, most of the people are not the most entertaining people to talk to, especially if you want to just have the audio version of it. So I developed that to, instead of from being in the studio, I transferred over to being in public, to where they feel the most comfortable, and tried to get them out of their shell a little bit.
Yeah, no, you definitely do that, man, for sure. I get jealous, man, because you're having fun, and you got the beer going, and I need to start drinking some beer on my podcast.
Drink what you want. We enjoy, have fun with it. I definitely have fun with it, but if you drink and get the way I do, and get I move my hands out too, so it's always awkward. But don't get too excited and too energetic. You do a great job as is.
Oh, thanks, man. No, hey, everybody got their own style. Everybody has their own style, their own personality, and the greatest thing I think as a podcaster, just be yourself, right? And
1,000%.
yeah, for sure, man. And so I think we're on our way there, man. But so like I said, you got a lot of stuff going on. Talk about Patreon. You got a website going where you're selling merchandise.
Yeah.
Tell us about that a little bit.
So funny thing about it, when I developed the transfer from the shit show to Dallas Beer Talk, I just naturally opened up everything, website, all platforms, but never did much with anything of it. With the downtime, because with the show, I was working a 12-hour shift job and then doing podcasting after hours of meeting people and doing stuff. So I never have time to develop everything. So with the unfortunately shutdown, I have time to work on the website. So website's up now. You can see it. We have connections to merch there. It helps the brand. And then Patreon is more along the line, the vision I have for the show. Patreon is more whenever we do open up and we move past this. I want to develop that so I could have people involved within the show. So when I go to Florida, people could vote, hang out, see some behind-the-scenes footage, and also dictate where I go in Florida, where I go in California. Have fun with that, because my philosophy of Dallas Beer Talk is I think Dallas has the best beer culture. And I want to find out if it's true. I got to go to different places to find out if that's true, and party in different places. For sure,
man. And speaking of Dallas, man, it seems like a very tight-knit, close community, man, within that beer community and that whole scene, man. Everybody kind of everybody knows each other. Everybody seems real cool and down to earth and hardworking, but everybody's having fun and doing their thing at the same time. Yeah.
No, 1,000%. That's why I felt like I got lucky when I hear about other beer communities. And again, these are all just rumors, so I don't know much. But just within the Dallas market, DFW market, it's so small compared to LA, compared to San Diego or Denver. It's so small compared to those markets that everybody knows each other. There's there problems between brewers and there's there problems between sales reps. Yeah. But for 90% of the time, it doesn't affect people going to a new brewery, people helping each other, people giving grain or hops and then getting it on the back end, collabing. All that goes hand in hand with the people, the brewers, and the owners.
For sure, man. No, I was Dallas is I've been there one time in I think 2004. I was there for some training I was working for a company, man, and I was there for a week. Yeah, didn't really get to explore out. I went to Addison, Texas. Yeah.
Good drinking city.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. It's a bunch of bars. Within a small 5-mile radius. So it's fun to drink there.
For sure, man. For sure. We went to some club, and like I said, I was working the whole week, but the one time I did get out, I was out in Addison. But Dallas, right where I was doing the training at a hotel. I don't recall the streets, or we were in the downtown area, and that was a super cool area, man. A lot of restaurants there and stuff. It was real cool. Yeah. And, and by the way, I think, I don't know if you're a big football fan or not, man, the draft is tonight. And I was commenting earlier. Yeah, I was completely forgot about that. Completely forgot about it too. And I was like competing with the NFL draft, So, but it starts at 5.
I feel like we're doing better. I think we would do better than watching the draft.
Yeah.
I'm a big Giants fan, so when I was at my friend's brewery, he brought it up. He's like, "Who's the Giants draft?" And I was like, "Are they still having that?" He's like, "Yeah, it's tonight." I was like, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah, man. I exactly. I didn't think it's a virtual draft or something.
Yeah, everything's gonna be online, so I don't even know how you're gonna watch it. I think we'd be better off just watching this podcast. It'd be better off than watching the draft. You can just see the stats later tonight. Who got drafted.
Right. I mean, you're gonna find out who they got anyway, right? Who your team got.
I mean, why not? Yeah. The Giants are my team. We did. We're not doing anything special the next couple of years. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, I like the Rams. And it looks like they're kind of, I don't know, dismantling the because they
already.
Well, they're moving into that stadium, and I'm thinking that they want to recoup some of that stadium money, so they're not going to pay for that. So you're going to kind of take our bumps for a little bit, but whatever. Yeah.
It happens. Like, listen, every team has their ups and downs. I don't care what fan you are. Everybody's ragging on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now because that's Tom Brady and they have what's that tight end coming back?
Yeah.
Gronk. And everybody's like, why are you coming back to be 8-8? But so what? Listen, let the city have fun because sometimes not every team wins the Super Bowl. You just want to have fun, have a good season, enjoy your team.
Yeah, man. Exactly, man. So
my 90s as a kid, being a Giants fan, like you think we had any shot to win the Super Bowl? No, in the 90s.
Well, you guys had that one year when you beat the Bills, right?
Yeah, we beat the Bills, but I mean, but at the end of the day, listen, we have fun. You take the wins when you get it, and you suffer the losses, and then you see what happens next year. That's why I like football watching it. I'm more of a baseball fan, and that's more. I feel like that's heartbreaking to me. So I just take the football as it is,
Oh, a Yankees or Mets? Well,
Yankees.
Even from Queens, huh? You're being from Queens.
Yeah, my mom said I betrayed the family because I'm a Yankees fan.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, man, because Queen Mets, the stadium's in Queens and
yes,
Citi Field, right? And
it was old Shea Stadium, now Citi Field. It's the funny thing about it, I've only been to Yankee Stadium twice, the old Yankee Stadium twice in my life. But I've been to Shea Stadium like 1,000 times.
Is that right?
My mom was like, "How are you not a Mets fan?" And I was like, "Do you remember the Mets in the '90s?"
The Mets in the
yeah.
Well, the '80s were good. I mean,
yeah, they had the amazing Mets. They returned. You had the cocaine. It helped.
Yeah, you had Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah.
Craig Jeffries, Dykstra, Mookie Wilson.
That's the Mets my mom fell in love with, right? But the Yankees wasn't much better in the 90s either.
No.
So I got to tell people, I got to clarify people to the Yankees were much better. But they were always on, and they looked like they had a better shot than the Mets.
Yeah. In the 90s. Yeah. Well, in the mid-90s, it came on, right? With 96 and then 98, I think they won.
Yeah. 96, they drafted – no, 95 – 95 they drafted Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
Became a captain the following year. We had a great squad in the mid-90s, but, up until then, I mean, mind you, I'm only 31, so I was 6-7 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
But all I remember is them, like, having a better shot, and I enjoyed watching them more.
For sure, man. Yeah, I never got to go to the old stadium. I walked past the new stadium, the new Yankee Stadium, when I was on my trip 10 years ago, and But man, the Bronx, man, right there, and I didn't, when I went to New York, man, I never felt like I was unsafe or anything, but never felt nervous. But for some reason, when I got off the train there in the Bronx, man, to go right near Yankee Stadium, that was the only time I was a little iffy, man. What's that?
It gets a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, but it was all good. But that was one of the best trips ever, man. But
I try to tell people all the time, when you travel, number one rule for me, I grew up very low income, and the rules. You go to any neighborhood in daytime, 90% of the time, if you're not starting problems, you're going to be fine. For sure. Any neighborhood. But once the sun starts setting, you should go where you come from. You go back home.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I wasn't there at night for sure, but I was there in the afternoon-ish, and so Victor, going back to Dallas Beer Talk, man. So what's your creative process? How do you prepare for an episode? What types of things? Any particular process you go through, or is it kind of sporadic or improvisational?
It's a little bit of improvisational, but most of my goal for every guest, regardless if there's a brewer, owner, or just another person, is we meet. I try to do it in person as 99% of the time. I try to do my podcast in person every time. Because I want to meet you first. I want you to relax. We're going to have maybe 1 or 2 drinks, and we're going to have a normal conversation. And then once I feel like you're a little bit more comfortable, you get to know me, and then that's when I cut the camera on.
Oh, okay.
And if we have the time, sometimes it's a crunch. Sometimes they fit me in an hour, and we don't have that vibe. But I try to vibe first with the guys or girls on. and then once we're vibing, then we cut on the cameras, and then I just take them through the journey. So the only structure for the show is the first 20 to 30 minutes is about them and the brewery and whatever they represent.
Yeah.
And then after that, let's have fun. Let's talk. Let's whatever you want, stories you want to tell me. Let's share some stories. And I want to have fun like I would at a bar.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. And, so by the time you're done with your a typical episode, you're what? Maybe how many beers in are you in, man? Typically,
I try to match the flow
after the episode's done.
So if the guest is drinking heavy, I drink heavy, which is not always great towards the end of the episode. But I try to match the flow of the guest because, again, the goal for me is only to get you comfortable. So if you're sipping, I'm sipping. I might be one drink, maybe a drink and a half ahead of you. But outside of that, I'm trying to keep pace with the guest.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's
The worst episodes you will ever listen to is when I smoke cigars with my beer friends. Lately, I've been falling in love meeting some beer friends, and then we go drink whiskey, beer, and smoke cigars. And in those episodes, we get pretty drunk. But I record for about 3 to 4 hours. But you won't ever hear it because you kind of hear it towards the end, but I record for 3 or 4 hours, but you only get about an hour and a half to an hour.
Oh, okay. I see. You edit it down.
Yeah.
I see. And how many episodes are you recording per week right now?
Right now, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do now, but typically I record 3 episodes. So there's the podcast, the Drunken Public podcast, which is once a week, and then I have the Beer Weekend Update, which is once a week, and then I have a Beer Journey episode where I go to like 4 or 5 spots and hang out.
And you do video on that one, right? I think.
Yeah. So I want to keep it audio, so I don't know why I never thought about this before, because I want to keep everything on SoundCloud as well and iTunes. I want to keep it all like connected, so no matter what platform you go, it's all there. And one of my friends was like, why don't you just do a voiceover while you're walking around to different places and tell people what's going on? I was like, why did I never thought about that? So whenever we go back to normal, when I get back to doing Beer on the Run series, that's going to be on SoundCloud. It's going to be weird because it's going to say number 15 on SoundCloud and iTunes. So it's going to start there. But at least with the transitions and the speed ups, I'm going to do a voiceover and talk about what's going on. Yeah,
man. No, I was watching some of those videos, and you basically go around and, the ones I was watching, a lot of beer tasting and just kind of, socializing and with people and, getting some of the info about their beer and their product and stuff like that.
Yeah, so that came up because there's so many breweries. LA is a perfect example, and San Diego, which is not too far from LA. It's so many great breweries out there. Yeah. So if I was there, I would have the same problem where I can only do 1 episode a week with a brewer or a bar or restaurant, which is so many places to talk to and have fun with, right? But with the Beer on the Run, the goal is to hit 5 places on a Saturday, which is an all-day thing, and I want to hit 5 new places. I'm gonna hit 5 new places, 5 new restaurants, 5 new bars, something. I want to hit something. That's and awesome. Hang out and showcase what we got here. What's going on? Yeah,
showcase. That's key right there, man. Kind of like on here. Yeah, we're showcasing the Dallas Beer Talk, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking to Victor Santana from the Dallas Beer Talk podcast and the Big D, of course, Texas. And Victor, so yeah, man. So when you do that beer, when you do one of those videos, do you just pop in on them, or do you schedule something?
No, I pop in.
Is that right?
I want the most natural response. Sometimes it's great response, sometimes it's lackluster, but it's not about the individuals there. It's about the location. Do I have fun there? Do I recommend you going there? And that's the point of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So you're checking out the vibe. You're checking out the scene.
Yeah.
And I noticed I got familiar with Intrinsic Smokehouse. Intrinsic, right? The brewery?
Smokehouse and Brewery. It's a great restaurant, bar, brewery, I should say. Great guys. I love those guys.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I was checking out. I got familiar with you frequent that place pretty much a lot, right? I mean, it seems like.
Pretty embarrassing. Hold, give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you. I just left there this morning. I went there before they even legally opened and picked up the pack.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. Gosh.
So I picked up a 4-pack this morning.
Look at that.
I love those guys. They're great guys. I have much respect to the owner, Terry, and the brewer. But long story short, I try to be honest with people when I meet them, and I told them I didn't like their beers when they first opened. I didn't think their beers were that good. And that's hard to hear as an owner when you work at a place and you put blood, sweat, and tears to a place.
For
and
sure.
I wasn't going to belittle their location and belittle their work ethic, but I was like, hey, I wasn't a big fan of your beers when you first opened, but I don't know what you did the last 4 years. The beers now are amazing. And he was like, well, meet Travis. He's like, he went from volunteer to head brewer, and they connect and vibe really well. So we all started talking, and they make a wide variety of beers. Do I love every single one? No. But what I love about them is that they talk to each other. They try to make weird beers and fun beers together. And the food's amazingly cheap, and you get a lot of food there. So I love everything there.
Yeah. And another one was Hop and Sting, right?
Hop and Sting is a great guys. I don't know them very well. The breweries I spend the most time with is False Idol. I don't even know why I'm lying. I drink with everybody. First of all, I sound like I have a problem. I might be an alcoholic. Just joking, guys. Just joking. But the breweries I frequent the most will be Manhattan Project, Intrinsic. Odd Muse is the new brewery that I'm always up there a lot. Okay. Bobby, mostly because, just love the vibes of them. And plus, Latino owned, so I love that part of it. So I feel comfortable hanging out there. Great, man.
That's great. So yeah, man. You pop in. You have I imagine you have a camera with you, or do you use your iPhone?
Yeah. No, I have a gimbal. So, excuse me, guys. So who just saw my belly? Apologize for that. This is the gimbal. I put my phone on here, so I try to tell people if you're meeting me on Saturday, I'm like, hey, man, you can't reach me until after this time. So I schedule that day. I put my phone on, put a wide lens, speakers on here. Microphones on here, and I just pop up, hang out and drink. In That's Texas, cool. We have a single party consent state, meaning that I can record anywhere in public without the consent.
Oh wow!
So that's why I'm able to pop up without scheduling. When I go to LA or New York, that's different. But I can just pop up any bar, any restaurant, as long as it's a public area.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
that's interesting. Interesting, man. So that gives you a lot of leeway, right? Obviously.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier because, again, I'm not trying to bash any bars, and I'm not. And when everybody usually stops me. So, for example, I go to bar Santana down the street. I just pop up. When I get there, of course, the bartender's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just gonna grab a few drinks. I'm hanging out by myself. I don't want to bother nobody." And from there, I just ask, like, "Give me any shot that you recommend, any beer you recommend," and I just sit there and hang out. People talk to me. I talk to the bartenders. I talk to the people, and then we just vibe.
Yeah.
And then you see some conversations with me and some people. You might see me drink a shot and hang out. And if the bartenders want to talk on camera or the owner wants to talk on camera, then we talk and we hang out.
Gotcha. So it kind of things kind of evolve and they come together while you're there over time, and then okay, so then you start kind of commenting on certain drinks and beers and what have you.
So if it's a restaurant, I let them make whatever cocktail and I give my opinion on it. And I spend about 2 hours on location, so it's time that builds with within a 10-minute video. You don't see that time, but I spend 2 hours there, and so it looks like I just drank from one spot to one spot, but I'm spending 12-hour day going to place, and I just drank, hang out, tell my opinion about a drink, and then the bartender's like, "Wait, that wasn't the best drink. You just asked for a special. Here's the best drink." I'm like, "All right, cool. Now we're moving on to the next one."
Wow, man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. And so, have you found yourself? Over what is it, 3-4 years now of drinking beer, and you've kind of become like a connoisseur of sorts, right? A critic, right? Maybe a beer tasting critic.
Kind of. I try not to say I'm a critic. I would say more of a connoisseur, because a critic will feel like you judge the beer and judge the spots and establishments. I don't. I don't know enough to judge. I know enough what I like, and that's a big difference. You know,
Yeah.
When you watch a movie, as a person who loves movies or music, when you listen to music or movies, whatever you get into to relax, you just judge it for what you feel.
Right.
You're not a critic of music or a critic of movies. You just listen and you like and you don't like.
Gotcha.
And I feel like that's how I am with beer. I want to know more now because I have time. So I'm reading this book called The Beer Bible.
Okay.
It's right here on my bookshelf, and I try to read a chapter a day and try to learn a little bit more, just because I have the time to learn. But I mostly just want to whatever tastes good to me. I'm great. I'm good with it.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome because I've noticed like you'll take a sip of something, on one of your episodes, and you'll describe the taste, and you'll kind of. You sound real technical. You get real technical, and
I try to.
Yeah.
I don't know about technical. I always give it to people I always tell people I don't know much about beer. I try to tell them that all the time. I learned from one of the brewers I hang out with a lot from a hand project. His name is Carl. He came on the show and he was like, "Stop trying to use fluffy words. Just say what you know. Say what you think." And that's where I get it from. I try to say what I feel, what I think about the beer. The technicalities of a good beer. And the ins and outs of it, I may not know, but I can tell you what tastes good to me.
Yeah. Wow. For sure. And I appreciate that, man, because the way you describe it, it's kind of like I can picture it. Oh, okay, yeah. I can just imagine the words that you're using to describe a particular beer, a particular taste makes sense. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of visualize or kind of get an idea of what that would taste like, as you're describing.
For people who are watching right now, I'm kind of a bigger guy, so everything goes back to food,
Me too, man. I'm in the same boat. I'm 6'2", and I'm glad you mentioned that too, Victor, because I noticed that you'll try to place. I don't know if you do this purposely or not, but you'll place like a meal with a particular beer. Like for example, if you're tasting I don't know, for example, an IPA, what goes good with that? Maybe a steak or something. Like as an example, right?
Yeah. I've been that's something new I've been trying to figure out to keep the podcast going because one thing I tell anybody who wants to do a podcast, consistency is key. You want to put something out consistently. You don't want to go too long without doing anything. So if I was to not put out any content for 2-3 months, whatever growth I was getting will be nilch, and I'll have to start fresh all over again. So I try to do something every week, and came up with food pairing. And since I don't know nothing about beer or really what goes well, I try to imagine what I enjoy about this particular style, and I like food, so I've been trying to just mishmash what I think and leave the audience time to be like, I wouldn't do that. I would try something different. Try to have more of a communal aspect of it. Now we try to leave a question saying, "Hey, what would you pair with this beer? What would you pair with this meal?"
Right. No, so give us an example, Victor. What would you pair, like for example, a stout with? I mean, as an example.
No, perfect. I you know what I've been really falling in love with? I love stouts. Stouts is my big thing. I have a beer fridge right here, and my main fridge also has a bunch of beer now. But what's been really going well is desserts and stouts.
Oh.
So for example, I made a video a few weeks ago, and I'm not a big fan of dairy in beer. Like dairy and liquor does never go well to me. It doesn't sound. It sounds like it's gonna give you stomach problems.
Bubble guts, like you say, right? Bubble guts. Yeah, man.
Yeah, nobody wants that, But believe it or not, one of the stouts I had was called a pastry stout, which has a lot of already like candy flavor and like chocolate flavor to it. I mixed the milkshake with the beer, and to be honest, it made the beer in the milkshake 1,000% better.
Oh,
and no really? Bubble guts.
That's key, right? That's key. No.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I would not recommend it if I had the bubble guts. I would not recommend it, but it was delicious. Go hand in hand. And then a few weeks ago, I did a honey stout with banana pudding from Intrinsic. So it's a honey stout from Intrinsic with banana pudding from Intrinsic. And when you first drink the stout, for example, because taste buds is very key in what you ate and drank before, it's important. So when I first drank the stout after having barbecue, I didn't really taste much of the honey. I tasted more of the chocolate notes. I tasted very bitterness to it. It was good. I enjoyed like dark chocolate flavors to it because it was sweet in the beginning. Then if you have too much dark chocolate, it gets a little bitter in the back end.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of the stout tasted to me. But then when I had the banana pudding afterwards, and then drank the stout for the third time, the honey accentuated because the sugar in my taste buds was popping off, and I could taste the honey, and it made the beer much better. So beer could hurt, and beer could accentuate. Like, I mean, food could hurt the beer, or food could accentuate the beer.
Gotcha. So what would you for give me a good beer, man, to have with some good hamburger and fries.
Believe it or not, the cleaner the beer, the better it is with meat, steak. Anything with too much meat in it, steak, pork chops, you want a cleaner beer because if you drink a IPA, for example, or West Coast IPA where there's a lot of bitterness to it, it affects both things. This affects the steak you're eating, it affects the beer, the hops you're gonna taste in it, and it's just too much going against each other.
I see.
What I found out is you want to do like a Kolsch or a Pilsner, which is a very clean and crisp flavor on the beer, and then with the steak, you don't bother. You don't lose the steak flavor, and you don't lose the beer flavor.
Oh,
and then
okay.
when you start eating the steak, the beer ends up going down like water because it becomes cleaner and more. It tastes like more like water and crispier.
So what? Yeah, okay. So what kind of beer would you suggest? Can you shout out a beer?
Besides the Pilsner I'm talking about right now, I'm trying to think. For anybody watching in the South, I think Manhattan Project's Necessary Evil is a great Pilsner.
Okay.
Intrinsic has a great Kolsch. Where is it at? Right here. Mexican Lager is great. Beach Please. It will be is a little simper to go with. And then on the West Coast, Beach Please. Yeah, Beach Please.
Beach Please. Okay, gotcha. I like that.
It's a great name. I really do love that name.
That's a good name. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Then,
go ahead.
No, I was trying to figure out West Coast beer, West Coast brewery to mention for the listeners on the West Coast. But I'm having a brain fart right now. I'm sorry.
No worries, man. There's one in LA. I want to say San Antonio. It's called. I mean, yeah. Coincidentally, San Antonio's in Texas.
Yeah.
But it's near Angel City. I don't know if you heard of Angel City. There's a bunch. I'm not too familiar, but there's a few in downtown. But they're starting to pop up all over, man.
The
microbreweries.
Believe it or not, California is a great hub of great breweries. I keep mentioning San Diego. Just because I know from experience, San Diego has a lot of great breweries. But LA is popping up. Sacramento, San Francisco, all those are growing as well. Of course, Portland further north has a great brewery scene. And then going east, you got Denver, which is not too far from you guys, has a great brewery scene as well. Yeah.
And speaking of Portland, man, I just came across one yesterday on Twitter. Northwest Tech, I want to say it's a green logo. It's a green. It's a green label.
There's so many breweries. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And by the way, what's your favorite? You like pickles? What do you like pickles with, Victor?
I don't like anything with pickles.
I know, man. I know. I was testing you, man, because I know you say that a lot, and you're. I don't know if you say it a lot.
I do.
Do you say? Cause the one episode I was listening to, you were like, "No, I'm not going to eat pickles. I'm not eating pickles," and I hate pickles, and so I remembered that. So now I'm teasing you.
I don't know why it doesn't hit my taste bud right, but I thought a lot of people didn't like pickles. So I was at a bar one day and I was talking smack, and I went to the crowd. I was like, "Hey guys, hold up, need a second. Does everybody here hate pickles?" And a sea of people said they love pickles. I just like, all right, I'm gonna close my tab. I'm leaving. I was completely wrong. I guess I'm a liar.
Oh man, so nothing. Don't like any dill pickles, chips or dill flavored seeds. Anything pickled flavor, huh?
Just that the vinegary saltiness of it doesn't hit my taste buds very well for some reason, man. It doesn't go well. I don't think it goes well with burgers. I don't think it goes well with anything. But I'm not the type of person like if I have it on my burger, I'm gonna be disgusted. I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna eat a burger. the burger's still good.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Yeah. So how did you meet Al the Brewer, man?
Oh man, we have a mutual friend. He's also a podcaster. Anybody looking for a new podcast, listen to Modern Brews and Beats. Great podcast.
What is it?
Modern Brews and Beats.
Gotcha.
So mostly music based, but they do talk about beer. You know, they try to connect music and beer from time to time. But that guy Jerry introduced me to Al last year, and Al was such a nice guy. We just hit it off. Al was just simply a great guy, period. But
yeah, he is. He came on the 90s Galore a couple months ago. We profiled Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
and he was putting me up on game on beer, and he's very knowledgeable on beer. And but we were talking Jurassic Park shortly thereafter. We did that episode, and you guys had a live.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if you remember, it's like maybe 2 months ago now. That's where I first met you, and you were on that live. And so you were with Al the Brewer.
No, I remember. That's when I got introduced. He introduced me, not you to me, but introduced me to your podcast.
Yeah.
And I've been listening ever since because I'm a child of the 90s. I know a lot about the 90s. Seriously talking about movies right now to one of my friends at the brewery. I introduced him to CB4, one of the classic Chris Rock movies that no one talks about.
Chris Rock, yeah, man, CB4.
Straight out of low cast.
That's been a long time, man. I haven't seen that one in eons, man. But,
I got it on Blu-ray, I got it on DVD, and I have a shirt that says Straight Out of Low Cast. I love that movie.
Oh man, we got to come on. Maybe we could do like New Jack City or something. You're a New York guy, man. You know, you can give us a unique perspective.
I am down. Well, New Jack City, it's the 80s based movie, but I feel like I know enough about it. My father is a famous breakdancer from New York, so he's stuck in the late 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
I grew up in a household of 13 people.
Is that right?
And the kids don't have control of TV back in the days. Nowadays, kids have control of TV nowadays. Yeah. But when I was growing up, you did not. You watched what the adults watched.
Yeah.
The oldest at the time watched.
Yeah. Oh, exactly, man. You know, sorry. You know, I know how it is. Yeah, growing up, and I'm Latino. You know, and those are the breaks, right? When you're a kid. Yeah. But now I can't. My 3-year-old and I don't get to watch TV anymore, bro. Because like you said, you know, now the kids got the
times change. It's funny because
they're running things.
When I was growing up, I grew up with my grandfather, classic Latino, had 14 kids. He worked all day. And of course, when I was a kid, I watched TV when it was my time to watch TV. But when he came home, regardless of what I was on, it's his time.
Yeah.
It was his time. We watched. The funny thing, I remember this. He watched Jeopardy every day, but he didn't speak English. And he watched Jeopardy, the Wheel of Fortune, but didn't understand what's going on. He just put it on.
Is that right? Yeah. You're Puerto Rican, right?
Puerto Rican Dominican. This is my Dominican grandfather.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. 14 kids.
Yeah, he had 14 kids, man.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Yeah. It's I noticed your Puerto Rican flag and one of your videos, and you had I think a Dominican flag up on the wall, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you're at? Yeah.
Yeah. So funny enough, I always keep it up here.
There it is.
So for people watching right now, it's right there. The flag above my couch next to my dog's crates.
There it is, man.
I tried to. So I posted a video earlier just to make fun of my mom and my family who follows me on social media. It's picao. You know, Puerto Ricans eat that burnt rice in the bottom.
Okay, yeah. Are they watching by now, by any chance? Nah, I'm just kidding.
You can watch it right now.
Yeah.
One thing, I can't share it here. But it's Dominicans call it con qué.
Con qué.
And in Puerto Ricans call it picao because it's burnt. Picao.
Oh.
It's burnt rice. But it's a feud between a Puerto Rican and Dominican dude saying con qué what? You can't call it con qué. It's picao. It's burnt.
I just saw that. It was a meme, right? Or a video?
Yeah, it was a meme, but it was an actual argument on social media, and the guy just memed it out with the flag.
Yeah. I saw that, man. That was you that posted it, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was me. I was posting.
Oh,
I was posting to make fun of my family because my mom claims she's Dominican, which she actually is Dominican. But she grew up around Puerto Ricans. She's talked Puerto Rican slang, so she always called it pecado. But
oh man,
I was like, I thought you were Dominican. She's like, I am Dominican.
that's funny, man. You know, when I was in the Navy, Victor, I had a few friends, Puerto Ricans from one was from the Bronx, and maybe Brooklyn, but they're Puerto Rican dudes, man, crazy dudes, man, good guys, just real wild though. Wow,
a lot
of energy, yeah, bro. And I remember '95 when I was in the Navy, I was stationed up near Seattle, Washington.
Nice.
And a lot of breweries up there, by the way.
Great breweries too.
Good scene up there, and they were bumping that song by Nas, "If I Ruled the World." Yeah, man, and they were just like you said, very energetic, just out there, bro, and fearless, man, fearless. It was a lot, but yeah, I always think back, to those guys, man, those days when, whenever I meet someone from New York, right away I think about those guys, and then there was another friend from I think Alexandria, Virginia. But yeah, all those guys, good guys, man. A lot of fun to be around.
New Ricans are the most energetic Puerto Ricans of all the Puerto Ricans.
Now, Boricuas, right? Boricuas.
We're all Boricua, and they all have.
Yeah, Boricua.
But New Yorkers have a different. They're too much sometimes for people.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. So
and I love it.
Yeah, yes. So you grew up so you were in Queens your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah. So I grew up most of my childhood in Queens. I grew up different parts of New York City. I spent a few years in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My next door neighbor's from South Carolina. He went to Clemson. Always wanted Clemson stuff. He's, it's
in
all
LA.
good.
Nice. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I grew up in South Carolina when I was a kid. So the story with my grandfather, it's in South Carolina. He had a ranch.
Oh, okay. And where at in South Carolina?
I don't remember. I got to call my mom for that because I was 3-4 years old when my memory started kicking in about that time. But I was there from a year old to about 5, and then from there I went back to New York City.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll let him know next time I see him. He was from my neighbors. I don't remember what part of South Carolina, but big time Clemson guy, man. He went there and he's always rocking his gear, man. So man, going back to Dallas Beer Talk, Victor, what's in the future, man, for Dallas Beer Talk? What's in store, man? Where do you see things going? Because you got a lot of things going on, you know.
I want to continue growing just awareness of the Dallas beer scene and the DFW beer scene. Just want to continue growing awareness, so doing more pop-ups with the Beer on the Run series, the Drunken Public, meeting more people. But eventually, I would love to be more sustainable, where from the Patreon or just growing the merch sales, where we can travel. I don't plan to leave my full-time job anytime soon, but I would like to not cost me money because I'm already going to pay for drinks. I try to pay for everything I drink because I don't want any stipulations behind it. So it's still going to cost me money when I drink, but at least I don't want to cost the travel, to those places. I'm eventually going to do it regardless if it grows or not, the Patreon and the page grows or not. I'm going to travel in the future and hang out and drink.
Okay,
it's inevitable, but hopefully it doesn't cost me arm and leg.
Absolutely. No, I hear you, man. I hear. So, but for now, and then you're going to continue pumping out episodes every week, and So
man. Believe it or not, people who do watch the Dallas Beer Talk episode, I ordered these. I was trying to get these in last night before this podcast so we could pop them open, but literally got it right when I text you and said, "Hey, I'm pulling in. Give me 2 minutes." These came in this afternoon. It's called I don't know if you've seen it on your Instagram. I feel like every podcaster sees it all the time. It's called Pod Decks.
What is it?
Pod Decks is a interview podcast questions.
No, never seen that.
So I keep pops it up on my Instagram. So I was like, you know what? For this interview, I wanted to pop them open, just to have fun. And I'm gonna try to have like solo episodes with pulling random cards out.
Man. Oh, I've never seen those, Victor. I got it. Where did you cop those at?
I bought it on poddex.com.
Okay.
Google Poddex. I bought all of the cards, which cost me like $70. You don't have to buy all of them. The ones I mainly wanted was Would You Rather and What the Heck.
Would you rather and what the heck? Okay.
They come, I think they were about $27, $30 for those two. But there is the so people who are listening, I have 2 editions of interview deck questions here. The blue box and the black box are interview questions. The white box is episode. So you pull a random card out, and that's why I thought with people who've been on the show multiple times. Like I interview beer people several times because I feel like it's more fun when they become friends. But I feel like we talk about the same thing all the time. So once their promotion is done about their brewery or liquor sales, I want to pull one of these random cards out and make the episode about that.
Oh yeah, I like that, man. I got to check that out. I hadn't seen that, Victor.
Oh, so what I'm pulling out right now for people who are listening, I'm gonna pull out Would You Rather deck, and that's what I'm gonna start doing. So I'm gonna ask you a question, my only question for you this episode.
Yeah, let's do it, man. So you're gonna flip it back on me now, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a number 1 through 5, and you tell me, and that's the card I'm gonna pull from the top of the deck. So 1 through 5.
All right, let's do 4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Would you rather have a creamy or chunky peanut butter, which just seems very PG and clean, which is good?
Creamy or chunky peanut butter. Wow. Jeez, it depends on the you know what? Probably chunky, man. Chunky.
Yeah. See, I go smooth and creamy, man.
Smooth and creamy. Yeah, I was gonna say it just depends on the mood, but right now I would be in the mood for some chunky peanut butter, man, with some wheat bread, a glass of milk,
that sounds delicious right now, honestly.
That's me.
That sounds really good too. I think you sold me.
There you go, man. You gotta jump into your fridge there, man. And so what kind of beer would that go with, man?
Peanut butter? You want something heavy, man. You want something because peanut butter's already gonna coat your tongue. So you want something to go with that vibe and that feel. So you want like a heavy stout, heavy porter, barrel aged something. Okay.
Yeah, man. Well, it's are you gonna pull out another card?
Yeah, I was gonna switch. You know what? Let's go 1 through 10.
Let's go 6.
6.
See what we come up with here.
All right. Would you rather never be able to use search engine again, Google, or never use the smartphone apps again?
Oh man, no, I think I need Google, man. You could pretty much find anything with Google, right? So I have to go with the search apps, right?
Yeah, but that's a little complicated, man. Never use smartphone apps again, meaning nothing you ever download again.
Oh, yeah.
No Facebook, Instagram.
Jeez, man. Those are
that's both worst case scenario.
You're caught between a rock and a hard place right there, man.
I don't have you remember people who are I don't know how old the people watching, but you remember back in the days you had that those world facts, Wikipedia, not Wikipedia. I call it the Wikipedia now. That's not what it is. Editions where you have like 14 editions where you have all the world facts.
Britannica?
Yes, Britannica, but encyclopedias too. Your 14 edition encyclopedia.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. So that's good stuff, Victor. Good stuff, man. So, man, it looks like you're doing a lot of big things, man. You mentioned you do have a full-time job also.
Yeah. Prior to this, I do cancer research.
Oh wow. Okay. Awesome, man. And you've been how long you been in Texas now? You think 13 years?
About 13 years, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Funny thing about it, I was supposed to live in San Diego. I fell in love with San Diego.
Oh, really?
So I went from New York City to Miami, and then from Miami to San Diego. And I have family over there, and I fell in love with San Diego, and I was supposed to live there. But my family at the time was going through a hard time, and they didn't have a place for me, and I didn't know nobody besides them. So I didn't have a job, didn't have a place to stay. So I came to Dallas or Texas when my mom moved from New York, and I was gonna stay with her for a little bit and then fly back. And I ended up finding a career here and never left.
Oh, so okay, so your mom's in Texas as well.
Yeah, she came here first.
Gotcha. Oh, San Diego, man. Gosh, yeah, I love San Diego. I'm like 2 hours away, but it's San Diego. We get great weather anywhere in Southern California generally.
Yeah.
But San Diego is just a slightly, just on a slight a tier above, man. It's like,
I fell in love with San Diego. You know what place I didn't fall in love with? And LA listeners might find this hilarious. Victorville.
Oh, jeez. You were in Victorville?
I went there. When I was out there, I was looking on the map, talking about Google search. I went on the map. I'm like, where's to go besides San Diego? And I saw a place called Victorville, not too far from San Diego. And I was like, yo, it has my name. I got it. Yo,
right.
The worst case scenario.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No.
Talk about sketchy. At the time, it was before meth was popular around the country, but yeah, Meth Head Central.
What year was that when you were out there?
2009, 2008.
Okay. Yeah, that's I grew up about 45 minutes south of Victorville, man. So yeah, it's Rancho Cucamonga is the name of the city where I grew up. And we're, Victorville's about, like I said, about 45, 50 minutes down the hill, they call it. It's grown a lot now since, recently it's the whole Inland Empire area. I don't know if you're familiar with that term.
I'm a little bit familiar. I have a really good friend of mine named Ricky Stewart.
Okay.
If you Google Ricky Stewart, he's a famous NASCAR driver or funny car driver. Back in the day, funny cars. And they're from LA, and he has family out there. So that's when I was out there. I went back out there, met a bunch of people out there. But anyway, they're from Bakersfield, all the way from that whole mountain coast going down south. So I was all over,
Gotcha, man. Yeah, man. Well, hey, Victor, man, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. I know, absolutely, man. Everything you got going on, we're gonna be looking for you. Where can someone find you? If you want to plug your social media, your website, go ahead, man.
No, well, first of all, thank you for having me on. I really do appreciate it. Apologize for the listeners and people watching for being late. But I had a lot of fun. Thank you so much. But if you want to find us, you can find Dallas Beer Talk. You can Google us, and you can find our website on all our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, all Dallas Beer Talk. And then if you want to check out our website and our merch, greatly appreciate it, DallasBeerTalk.com. And you can see both my Instagram feed and Facebook feed on the website as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And we'll continue to check you out, man. I'm going to continue to listen to your podcast, and maybe we could continue to collaborate in the future.
No, definitely.
You ever come out to Southern California? Let me know, man. We'll hook up.
1,000%. First stop, when I make it out to LA, because it's going to happen. Beer Thug, for people who were still watching from earlier, Beer Thug is the guy that I was talking about.
Beer Thug.
From California. When I get out there, you'll be one of the first podcasts and people to hang out with when I'm out there, as well as future collaborations. That's right, man. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. But once again, man, thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Victor Santana from Dallasbeertalk Podcast and merchandise. Check out his website. Check out his Instagram, his Twitter. He's doing a lot of big things, and we're really grateful for coming on. As for myself, cheers, Victor. Cheers. There you go. I like that, man. I like that. And you gave me some new ideas for future episodes, man. And right. As we want to thank everybody for tuning into the Profile Pod TV. Please subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. On Instagram, you can find us at 90s Galore at 90s_GALORE. Our Profile Pod TV, like I mentioned earlier, our Instagram account, our page is up already, but we're still in the work in progress there. We're waiting on the cover art and a few things to fully get it going. But you can contact me there. We've already started that up. So, but for now, hit me up at the Profile Pod, or you can email at profilepod@gmail.com or at 90s Galore. Also on Twitter,
at 90s Galore. If you want to come onto the Profile Pod where we can showcase your podcast, showcase you as an entrepreneur, maybe you got a business, maybe you're an actor, you're an artist, musician, whatever you may be, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're like Victor, you got your own beer scene going. Let's get you on here. Let's get more eyeballs on you, and let's get you some exposure. Let's help each other out, man. I don't think there's anything.
That's the whole point of all this. Just have fun and help each other out. So
100%. Right?
First of all, if you haven't been to 90s Galore yet, you guys need to listen to it. It's a fun podcast, especially if you're the child of the 90s and enjoy everything 90s. So
thank you so much, Victor. Yeah, check it out, guys. Thank you so much. So don't forget
I need to get 90s Galore to 10,000 followers already, so you guys can put a full episode on there. Because once you get to 10,000, you can put an hour on IGTV. I would love to see that.
That's a goal. That's a goal for sure, man. Thank you. No, let's do it, Victor. And you're closer than I am. So yeah, keep pumping away, keep pushing, man. And like you said, let's help each other out, man. And that's the name of the game. So yeah, subscribe, like us. Follow, share. I'll see you guys on Instagram. I'll see you on Twitter. Give me some feedback. Write me a review on Apple Podcasts. I'm always looking forward to interacting with the audience, the listeners out there. Thank you so much from wherever you're tuning in.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Victor, once again for being here and the Dallas Beer Talk podcast. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next time. And always remember to take it easy. Victor, all right, brother.